Here is AOC's tweet defending her decision, and we're going to look at a couple of these replies to really give you guys an idea for just how mad the radical left is. She said, Marjorie Taylor Greene's amendment does nothing to cut off offensive aid to Israel, nor in the flow of U.S. munitions being used in Gaza. Of course I voted against it. What it does do is cut off defense Iron Dome capacities while allowing the actual bombs killing Palestinians to continue. I have long stated that I do not believe adding to the death count of innocent victims to this war is constructive to its end. That is a simple and clear difference of opinion that has long been established. I remain focused on cutting the flow of U.S. munitions that are being used to perpetuate the genocide in Gaza. Now, here are some of the replies that illustrate how serious of a betrayal the Democrats are taking this. If you recognize that Israel is committing a genocide, why are you voting in favor of giving it $500 million for anything? The Iron Dome is what enables, protects, and guarantees Israel's genocide. It is as defensive as the building materials for Auschwitz. You knew it wasn't going to pass, so why not take a stand against military aid to Israel, even if sponsored by Green? Your progressive colleagues, far more vulnerable than you, stood on business against genocide. You gotta buck the liberal Zionist lobbyists in your ear. I didn't give the mass shooter guns and ammunition. I just bought him a bulletproof vest so no one could stop the massacre. AOC, this view is wrong. Bankrolling an apartheid state that occupies and genocides its neighbors is bad, even if those bankrolls go to missile interceptors. Israel should bear the full fiscal costs of its misdeeds, so it is less likely to pursue future invasions and occupations. Respectfully, Representative, you have just voted to send weapons to a regime that the ICJ and all human rights organizations have affirmed is an apartheid regime that is on trial for genocide in the ICJ, and the leaders of which are indicted by the ICC for crimes against humanity. This is not acumen or discernment, it's complicity, and I think you know that. So after being obliterated on X, AOC follows up with another defense of her actions. She says, Google is free. If you're saying I voted for military funding, you are lying. Receipts attached. Drag me for my positions all you want, but lying about them doesn't make you part of the left. If you believe neo-Nazis are welcoming and operating in good faith, you can have them. And that's her referring to Marjorie Taylor Greene, basically saying she had two options: align herself with neo-Nazis in the name of screw Israel, or stand up against the bad MAGA neo-Nazis and support Israel receiving Iron Dome money. Here's some more hilarious responses to this tweet. You're not gonna go full John Fetterman, are you? I love how John Fetterman is just using common sense and simple rationality, and that is seen by the left as some sort of crime or insult. Another one says, are you calling the other left-leaning reps that you ally yourself with who voted correctly no on that bill neo-Nazis? You voted against an amendment that other socialist reps voted for to strip the funding from Israel's military. You then came on this website defending funding the Iron Dome. This is why you are being criticized. An account with the pride flag in the handle says, Rashida Tlaib voted to defund the Iron Dome. You didn't. Are you calling her a neo-Nazi? And now this final one really hammers in the point. You got cooked so hard that you united the entire left against you. Now stay with me here, we're almost done. This final post is really just the gloves coming off and turning against AOC. This tweet was retweeted by AOC's fellow radical left anti-American squad member, Ilhan Omar. The tweet says, all but 6 of the 435 voting members of the U.S. House of Representatives opposed Marjorie Taylor Greene's amendment to strip $500 million in funding for Israel's missile defense system, part of the U.S. Defense Appropriations Bill. Green argued the U.S. already gives Israel $3.8 billion annually and shouldn't be funding the weapons of a belligerent nuclear-armed state. Here are the 5 members who voted yes alongside Marjorie Taylor Greene: Thomas Massie, Al Green, Summer Lee, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib. Again, this bill never had a chance of passing. Almost every single Democrat voted against it. And because the Democrat Party has no leadership, no vision, no unified message, it's just dysfunction, the radicals have completely seized on that power vacuum and are dictating the direction of the party in real time. And this was a giant spit in the face to all of them that the majority of the Democrat leadership voted against it. But at minimum, they expected the most radical socialist leftist ones to vote for it, even as a symbolic stance that they support Palestine and are against Israel, believe that they're war criminals, and are committing a genocide. And AOC voting against that, even in a symbolic, irrelevant manner, shows them that she is not truly the radical Islamist socialist revolutionary she claims to be. She's now just another phony establishment Democrat who's in love with Israel.